parody and deconstruction aren't unusual concepts in the world of anime, and most of the time they're a welcome interpretation of existing tropes. Hi, I'm Seigyo, and welcome back to another episode of The Rule of Three, the show where we take the first 3 episodes of a show at face value and decide whether it's worth a watch to the end or not. Today, we're looking at a show called Mashle, an adaptation of the beloved manga series by author Hajime Komoto. If I were to do my best to sum it up, it's a weird and wonderful combination of elements from Mob Psycho, How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, and the Harry Potter universe. At face value, it seems like a weird mashup, and yet here we are. I went into this with a cautious fascination, having not read the source material, but spoilers ahead. If you want to know my conclusion on whether this is worth a watch or not, skip to this time. From the start, we're introduced to this world of magic, and yet diving right into our first glimpse of the titular main character Mash, he's shown to be a purveyor of the physical arts, and to an extreme level I might add, as opposed to having any ability with magic. We're showing the recurring theme of Mash's love for cream puffs, and we're already moving on to fleshing out his motivations and relationships. Oh yeah, baby! We cut to a scene of Mash's adoptive father casually sipping a hot drink, when Mash crashes through the front door in a ridiculous show of strength, having apparently forgotten which way the door opens, as you do. His father is somehow used to this, and yet surprised every time. Mash is told his father is going into town, and that under no circumstances should he go there himself. So of course, we can't have any sort of plot progression without, Mash going to town, because he wants some cream puffs. We get another display of strength through the accidental crushing of coins in his hand and his excitement for said cream puffs, before a run-in with a drunk police officer occurs. Apparently, in this world, a lack of magic is considered a weakness, and often, children who are born without it, shown by a lack of a dark facial birthmark/scar, are discarded. Those who somehow manage to survive longer are considered fugitives. We get another ridiculous show of strength before dare old dad zooms in and runs off with Mash. The cops track them back to their cottage in the woods, where dad has sent Mash off to train in the meantime. Dad is threatened but refuses to cave, and it's shown that he found Mash as a baby when he himself was at rock bottom, having been consistently berated his whole life for being bad at magic. Of course, Mash ends up coming back anyway, and manages to fight off these seasoned mages with nothing but brute strength. The kid literally bats away Kamehameha beams with his bare hands, holy hell. An ultimatum is given, and Mash is to enroll at a prestigious magic school and graduate with honors, in order for the cops to not report him to their higher-ups. Mash at this point is just like, fuck it bro, we'll do it live. At this point, I honestly thought I'd have screw all to talk about with the plot, and yet here we are with me having had so much to explain. Anyway, it's at this point we move on to the second episode. We're introduced to not Hogwarts, where a large group of hopeful students are preparing to take the magic qualifying exams to be able to enroll at the school. Mash has had a fake magic tattoo placed on his face to help him blend in, but already he makes himself stand out by sheer show of physical strength alone. Our examiner spies this, and vows to himself that he'll fail Mash for a lack of seriousness in magic study. A slew of magic exams are thrown at Mash, only for him to blow through them, in some cases literally. We're introduced to a side character named Lemon Irvine, who attempts to stop Mash at the behest of the examiner but fails, and in a pinch, he saves her and passes the exam with her through sheer willpower. The examiner's schemes are outed by Mash's new friend, and Not Dumbledore swoops down to save the day, to conclude Mash's exams with a test of his character, which Mash handily passes. Not Dumbledore is thrilled with Mash, and welcomes him into the academy, and yet, now that Mash is in, a hard school life is all that waits for him. Finally, Episode 3 introduces us to Mash's roommate, Finn Ames. After Mash handily beats the local school bully in a broom race, once again through sheer force, Finn is pressured into subtly bullying Mash by destroying his property and the like. Finn eventually chooses to stand up for himself and for Mash, only for the bully to start wailing on him. Mash overhears this, as well as Finn's resolve, and comes in to save the day. A threat of the bully having high-up connections is made, which Mash ignores, and one of the connections, the vice principal, is introduced. After an empty show of threats is made, Mash puts the vice principal in his place by burying him in the ground just to show how easily he could do it in future, taking care of the immediate issue at least. The vice principal reports this to the Bureau of Magic, who asks Not Dumbledore to expel Mash immediately. But not Dumbledore appreciates Mashle's show of camaraderie and justice and chooses to say, nah, f that, Mash deserves a place here. The episode caps off with Mash being invited to join the Broom Flying sports team, and that's that. All in all, for a show that makes wide use of parody and expects the user to understand the universe with no questions asked, there's a surprising amount of content to absorb here. Our depth of character shown is shallow at this point, and yet, while these people feel really 2D currently, I feel like there's ample opportunity to build on them. In saying that, I feel like Mashle is a really good show just to turn off your brain and enjoy at face value. There's no clever tricks, no gotcha twists, everything seems to be laid out in order to have a dumb fun time. And hell, just like how heavy are the dumbbells you lift, I also feel the need to head to the gym again after each episode. So with all that said, would I recommend Mashle based off the rule of 3? Honestly, why the hell not? I've had a lot of fun with the short amount of time I've had with the universe, and I might go ahead and start reading the manga for this one too. There's been a lot of brain-dead anime over the years, but brain-dead anime you can enjoy at face value? That's a rare gem. But thanks for watching, and if you have any ideas for shows for me to do this for, leave them in the comments. I've been Sei, and this has been Rule of 3. Bye!